We are live. Hello, everyone. It's Braveheart. Today's not going to be a normal stream, sadly. So, basically, basically, that I mean, I was originally going to play more Persona 4 about a week ago since I had gotten the grinding done, but unfortunately, a lot's gone on this past week and a half. So, yeah, we're basically gonna be doing a short podcast instead because there's a lot on the table that we actually have to discuss. Basically, a lot of things that kind of concern me well about what's to come going forward. Uh, so, in case you now bear in mind, I don't really do stuff like this very often. I don't really like to bring up any sort of political discussions on my channel. I usually like to keep my content focused around gaming, but at the same time, I'm going to try to remain as professional as I can, and I'm going to try to remain as professional as I can, and I'm because I want to be able to get this out to as many people as possible, even though it actually might be a fool's errand, considering I'm still a very small channel. At the very least, with everything that's happened lately, it's still better than staying quiet about all this. Uh, so I guess we'll go ahead and start somewhere. But basically, what's been happening over the past couple of weeks. Let me minimize that real quick. Basically, what's been happening over the past couple of weeks. Well, a lot of things actually. So about a week and a half ago. Well, needless to say, a lot of games, most notably not safe for work titles, were basically removed from both Steam and itch.io. Well, first it started off with Steam. Basically, what happened is that a feminist group. Although I don't really think I should call them a feminist group, considering how they are. But basically, a group called Collective Shouts had basically made a complaint to Steam's payment processors, both Mastercard and Visa, in an attempt to get several games removed, and lo and behold, it actually worked. Steam was unfortunately forced to bend the knee out of fear of basically losing their payments, and a lot of games had been removed. Most notably, games with let's just say very questionable content. Now, looking into those kind of titles, none of those games are personally games that I would ever play, or most other people for that matter. But the most concerning thing about it is, it's not just adult games that have been getting hit. Even some horror games have gotten hit too, such as Fear and Hunger, for instance. Reason I say that is because not too long after Steam got hit with this, itch.io also followed suit too. Except in this case, they pretty much removed their whole not safe for work category. And although not too long ago, there has been a recent change in that regard. At the very least, itch.io has since re-indexed some of their free not safe for work games, not their paid ones, at least for the time being. Although they have actually been going out of their way to find other payment processors, but we'll see as that comes as time goes on. We'll see how that goes as time goes on. However, However, this is actually not just been this is actually not anything new, unfortunately. About a year ago, basically about a year ago, basically about a year ago, both Mastercard and Visa had also targeted several Japanese websites in over the past year. Most notably Melon Books, DL site at Manga Library Z, and they claim they're doing this all just to protect the brand. However, recently with all this going on, a lot of people have actually been flooding. Basically, 4chan of all things has actually organized a movement called Operation Fight Fire with Fire. Basically by spamming their call centers. Now, if you want to do this, there's a very good reason why I'm not showing any of their phone numbers, because I really do not want to get the stream flagged. But if you want to do this, thankfully their phone numbers are not too hard to find. All I really ask is that you remain professional. You do not shout at them. Do not swear at them or any of that. Just ask them about simple stuff like their policies and whatnot. It's not really going to change much, but the thing about flooding their call centers is that the whole idea is basically to cost them so much money to the point where they have to respond, which they have actually done. But once again, they're giving the same stuff that they reiterated in their emails. They do stuff they do. I should have reorganized this better. But basically, they've been giving the same stuff that they've reiterated in their emails. They do not censor games. They do not block people's payments, but which is exactly what they've been doing. So, yeah. If you do call them, do not go to their emails. I will tell you that much. Do not go to their emails, because they will just give you a generic response and just call a day. Now, however, that's not the only thing that's been going on. In recent, there's also been this sort of movement there's also been this movement basically organized by both Australia and the UK to basically enact policies restricting the internet, and they claim this is basically the UK Online Safety Act, which by all means is which they claim is basically about protecting children online from harmful content. Except, which sounds good on paper. It does sound good at a glance, but once you read the fine print, you'll discover that it's basically anything but. Instead, what the UK has been doing, not too long after they enacted this law, they basically made a task force that basically monitors the internet and comes after anyone who says anything online that they don't like. And they also want want you to give stuff like your ID and a facial scan just to even get access to any any sites that they deem 18+. And again, this is this is all in the name of to protect kids. Except I don't really know what's. Except in this case, I don't really know what illegal immigration has anything to do with protecting kids. But yeah. Now, on the other hand, in response to this, several people in the UK have actually signed a petition that's to have this act repealed, but and the UK government responded with I would like to thank all those who signed the petition. It is right that the regulatory regime for an in-scope online services takes a proportionate approach, balancing the protection of users from online harm with the ability for low-risk services to operate effectively and provide benefits to users. The government has no plans to repeal the Online Safety Act, and is working closely with Ofcom to implement the acts as quickly and effectively as possible. Yeah, so much for democracy, I guess. And it's already been proven that by the way, it's already been proven that this act is anything but protecting children. It's actively being used to keep an eye on their citizens, and there's no proof there's no further proof of that other than this. Now, this clip has actually been making its rounds on the on social media lately. This is actually this Barry Gardner person is actually he is basically a representative within the UK government, and just listen to what he has to say.
Online safety bill. If it's just about children, is it just about children, or does it focus
do you
on
think
adults?
that should be an elite squad?
Barry, does it just focus?
Protect
It's not.
13-year-old
I'm sorry.
girls?
The elite squad is not about children. Actually, shall I read you the thing? An elite squad of police officers is to monitor social media for anti-migrant sentiment. I don't think 13-year-olds are engaging that. So, is it also to monitor adults? Simple question, yes or no?
Yes, of course it will.
Okay, there we go.
And there you have it. So yeah, it's not about protecting children at all. It's basically about monitoring their citizens. But anyway, I digress. So it's actually not the UK that's doing this. It's also other countries too, like Australia, and even Canada and the US want to enact similar laws too. This is basically the Kids Online Safety Act and the Screen Act, which basically to sum it up, basically wants to do the exact same thing that the UK government is doing. Basically having everyone give their facial scan, their ID, etc. To access certain areas of the web. Now these laws are. These acts are currently under review by the government, and before anyone jumps to conclusions that it's basically Trump pushing these, no, it's far from that. It's basically this is being these bills are being co-sponsored by Republicans and Democrats alike. So basically, this is a two-way battle, essentially. On the and not to mention, speaking of bills, this one was just also introduced today. But basically, this well, actually not today, but a couple days ago. But they also want to push forward a bill called the Blockbeard Act, which basically is which essentially is another form of SOPA. So, as if that wasn't bad enough, they basically want to restrict anything that's suspected of piracy as well. On the other hand, there are actually two. However, the good news, there are actually two petitions that have actually been being pushed to counteract at least two of these bills. Both, assuming if I can find it, basically the Stop Kids Online Safety Act and this one, and this one. Well, actually, yeah, the Stop Kids Online Safety Act. Well, this one's more so to stop to basically protest Mastercard and Visa, but it still kind of applies to all this. Although now, as dire as things seem right now, thankfully. There are actually certain politicians within our government and even the Japanese government that is actually overlooking this with great concern. Some politicians, including some more well-known companies like Wikipedia and Apple, have actually been coming out and speaking out against the UK government. Wikipedia and Apple are especially filing lawsuits against the government in protest of this. So yeah, trying to. Now, on another note, even though these acts haven't gone into effect yet, sorry, my notes are kind of all over the place, but even though the Kids Online Safety Act isn't in effect yet, YouTube is also unfortunately even YouTube is also coming under fire from this bill. From the UK Online Safety Act, because so basically. Starting August 13th, they basically want users. They basically want its users, including its users in the United States, to basically verify their age by using a facial scan, their credit card, or basically an ID. And they're using AI to determine. And yeah, they're using AI to determine who's underage and who isn't, which has never ever worked in the past. They've literally tried the same thing with copyright claims, and it's still messed up even to this day. So this goes into effect on. This supposedly is going to affect for a set number of people on August 13th. And I will just say right now, I mean, this is basically a no-brainer, but I know for a fact there are still some people who are going to fall for this. But I will just say, do not give these people your ID. Do not give them your face scan. Do not give them your credit card or anything of the sort. Either use a VPN or try to cheat the system if you can. In fact, some people have actually been getting around this thing, most notably with Discord, basically by using the photo mode in games like Death Stranding 2 to do their face scans, and yeah, it's actually been working. Although for how long is anybody's guess, but they've also been using other games like Gary's Mod as well. But yeah, they've also people have also been using VPNs to circumvent this as well, which VPNs have actually really taken off during this whole thing. However, the UK government also wants to look into banning VPNs too. But honestly, I have a feeling that if China couldn't crack down on VPNs, the UK is not really going to be that successful in that regard either. But we'll have to see as time goes on. But I will at the very least say, well, like I mentioned earlier, do not give them your ID, and there's a very good reason for that. Ever since I'm going to tell you guys right now, ever since I was a kid, when I started using the internet in school, we were always told to never ever give your personal information online. And this recent story actually shows why you shouldn't. Just recently, an app called the T app just recently had a massive data breach. Now, in case if any of you don't know what the T app is, it's basically a women's only app that's basically used something similar to what the UK is doing. It basically used a face scan to determine on whether or not someone was female or not, and women actively used that app to basically essentially dox men that they didn't like, and as a result, a lot of people got fed up with it, and there was a massive hack that leaked so many people's personal information. And data breach, and this isn't just limited to the T app. It happened with the PlayStation Network several times in the past. It happened with Microsoft. It can certainly happen with a company like Ovcom too. Thankfully, the good news is there has been plenty of pushback from this. Like I mentioned before, Japan is looking into this, and unfortunately, we're all fighting this on multiple fronts. The credit card the payment processors, the government, all of this. There's so many things going on at once. Now, even though it seems like it's all doom and gloom, thankfully, like I said, thankfully Apple and Wikipedia are looking into suing the UK government. So are certain politicians, and yeah. And Google, on the other hand, is looking into suing the Australian government for basically banning any YouTube for anyone who is under the age of 16 over there. But anyway, I don't really have much else to go over. But other than that, we have been making at least a bit of headway on the gaming side of things. The payment processors have responded, but I still wouldn't. Like I said, I still wouldn't let up at this point. Their stocks have been going down over this, actually. Not a whole lot, but it's getting somewhere. However, I also believe that it's not just their call centers that need to be hit. I also think we also need to hit them where it hurts, their wallet. and as a result, I've basically been trying to avoid using my Mastercard as much as I can for this, especially in this instance. And I highly suggest everyone else do the same with their Mastercard and Visa card. Now, I'm not saying that we should never ever use our card. Unfortunately, that's kind of impossible in this day and age. But I would, at the very least, say, at the very least, try to use physical cash as much as possible. And if you have to buy anything on, buy anything on, say, like Steam or Amazon, just use gift cards instead. But at the very least, I would say at least try to do something along those lines if you can. Now, thankfully, on the Japanese government side of things, a user by the name of Madam Savvy has actually been in contact with a Japanese politician and has been giving them all kinds of information. And has basically been giving them all kinds of information regarding Mastercard, Visa, and even Collective Shout. Now, going on to Collective Shout again, they haven't just done things like they have honestly had they basically had multiple victories over in the past. This group has been around since 2014, and years ago, back when Grand Theft Auto, not too long after Grand Theft Auto 5 released. Years ago, not too long after Grand Theft Auto 5 released, they basically launched a campaign that basically got Target and Kmart in Australia to remove the game from their shelves, and they've even been going after other things like Detroit Become Human as well. And just recently, not long after, they've been going after, not too long after they went after Steam and itch.io. They also launched another campaign as well to in an attempt to get adult content removed from Twitter. So and they're one of their co-founders by the name of Melinda Tankard Rice. She is actually one of the people who is actually in the Australian government right now. Which especially as an artist myself is very concerning, because if a small group like Collective Shout can go after can basically bully the payment processors into taking down games they don't like, what's to stop other organizations from doing the same thing? They could come after stuff like John Wick for animal cruelty, or even they could come after stuff like John Wick for animal cruelty, or even have movies like The Room and the Rocky Horror Picture Show banned from being shown in theaters because of its adult content. We can even see entire TV shows like Robot Chicken and South Park get taken off the air because of quote unquote egregious content. So yeah, it doesn't exactly paint a very good picture going forward. Oh yeah, not only that, but even more worrying. The it's not just activist groups that could bully the payment processors. this can effectively allow major corporations to do the same thing too. For instance, take for instance Nintendo. Nintendo has not been doing too well in their lawsuit over Palworld lately. So it's highly possible that even companies like Nintendo could threaten to sue the payment processors into pulling payment from their competition if they don't. If they continue supporting them. So yeah, that's another thing. But yeah, other than that though, I think that's really all I have to say on this matter. I don't really think there's much else I can say other than a lot of what I just discussed. Basically, but other than that, I will be posting this stream to. I will at the very least be posting this stream to YouTube, and I'll be archiving this stream on my Twitch. It'll be on both of my YouTube channels, and unfortunately, I don't really know if it's going to do much good, considering that I'm still a very small channel, but at the very least, if you guys could possibly spread this video and get the word out to as many people as possible, I would highly appreciate it. Make no mistake. Censorship does not have any bounds. Even if you don't agree with some games, like say for instance Dragon Age: The Veilguard or Assassin's Creed Shadows, or even The Last of Us 2, content that you don't like, even though it's only affecting content that you don't like today, it can affect content that you don't like tomorrow. It can even affect this can even affect certain children's media, for crying out loud, like Sly Cooper for some of its dark elements. Even children's shows like Powerpuff Girls and Power Rangers for its violence.
Yes, this is a slippery slope. Do not let it happen.
Yeah. Exactly. Sorry, I'm
such a vague idea to enact that it can quickly get out of hand, and then before you know it, it's no longer a free country.
Exactly.
We were already heading there.
Exactly. In case you haven't read, in case if any of you haven't read the book 1984, I'd highly check it out because it goes over a lot of the stuff that we are starting to experience now. Even anime like Shimoneta basically goes into some of the dark reality of this. Sorry, I keep reiterating a lot of the stuff that I just went over, but yeah, I think I basically figured, even though I'm still a very small channel, I still think it's much better than staying quiet about all of this. But yeah, if any of you can share this stream, spread the word to as many people as possible, I definitely appreciate it. And in the meantime, I will also have links to both petitions, and I will also have links to both of these petitions: the Stop KOSA and the Change.org petition over Mastercard and Visa, linked in the description, on both my Twitch channel and in the YouTube videos themselves. And furthermore, just for good measure, I'm also if I can find it, and furthermore, even the Electronic Frontier Foundation has also been doing its best to fight against this. Basically what the Electronic Frontier Foundation is basically it's basically an organization that's an online organization that's dedicated to protecting your rights on the internet. So I will be donating to them as well. I'd highly suggest to everyone else to do the same if they can. Definitely help them out, and yeah. Do not let your voice be heard. Do not stay quiet about this, because if we do not stop it here, it's not just going to affect free speech online. It's going to affect free speech in real life as well. I mean, the UK, for instance, it's not just barring certain websites. They have literally created an entire task force that literally goes out and arrests people that say anything that online that the government doesn't like. Which really says a lot. And like I said, even Australia is looking to do the same thing. And if these bills pass in the U.S. and Canada as well, it's not going to be very good for us. Hell, I could be branded. People like me could basically be branded an international criminal just for even making this stream. Sorry, I know I tried. I know I said I'd try to be as professional as possible, but it was kind of a slip of the tongue. Anyway, that's all I have. That's all I really have to say for the time being. Definitely support the petitions. Get the word out there. Sorry this stream was kind of a downer. I mean, I know it's not. I know it's a lot different from my usual content. Hopefully, I won't have to do another stream like this again. But I'm not making any promises over that. But I will at the very least say my next stream will at least be back to our usual content. So yeah. Anyway, take care, everyone. Definitely stay safe out there. I will see you on the next one.